This week's Parashat is Parashat Shoftim. And there's one pasuk in this week's Parashat that if you focus on this pasuk and you internalize it and you delve in, you try to interrogate as to the true meaning of the pasuk, it could change your life forever. And that's what I want to do tonight. B'ezrat Hashem. Ready? Pasuk could be found, Perek Yud Chet, Pasuk Yud Gimel. I want you to hear what the pasuk writes. It's a famous pasuk, one of the most famous pasukim in all of Sefer Devarim. The pasuk writes, Tamim tiyeh im Hashem Elokecha. You gotta be tamim with Borei Olam. You gotta be tamim with your master. Now I have a couple of questions. Question number one is, what does it mean to be tamim? What does the word tamim mean? That's question number one. Question number two is, what happens when I am tamim? If Borei Olam is charging me, commanding me, asking me to be a tamim in my life, well then I have to realize, I have to ask, I have to ascertain, what happens when I am tamim? And question number three is, what is the lesson for me tonight? When I go home today, what did I gain? If I just came here and heard a bunch of stories and a bunch of jokes, and I went home with nothing new to internalize in my life, then that's not what Borei Olam wanted. Borei Olam brought me here tonight, or we're watching on Hidabroot, in order to impart upon me a lesson that I didn't know before. So let's get started. Everybody ready? What is the lesson Hashem wants me to learn? So let's get started. Comes Rashi and writes, what does it mean to be a tamim? So I'll read you what Rashi writes. Ready? Tamim tiyeh b'Hashem Elokecha, hithalech imo b'temimut. Walk with Borei Olam with simplicity, with steadfast bitachon, with trust. V'lo tachkor achar ha'atidot. Don't go and delve, interrogate, try to find out what's going to happen in the future. Ela kol ma sheyavo alecha kabel b'tmimut. Rather, everything that comes, everything that transpires, everything that happens to a person, understand and accept it with simplicity. Always accept it with simplicity. In other words, a person has to be very careful not to look at horoscopes, right? Horoscope, people, you see, they go to the newsstand, they buy daily news, they open it up, and some Mejnun case tells them what's going to happen to them that week. And people, Jewish people also, take a look and they look at these horoscopes. They want to know what their mazal has in store for them. It says, Rashi, don't do that. Don't take a look at what's going to happen in the future. Don't go to necromancers, and don't go to magicians, and don't go to psychics. Don't go to those people. Rather, trust Borei Olam and have full faith in Hashem Yitbarach, and understand that the master of the universe only has your best interests in mind. That's what it means, Tamim tiyeh Hashem Elokecha. Be complete, be steadfast, be unshaking, be unnerved, be trusting of Borei Olam. And I want you to hear what the Or HaChaim Kadosh writes, because the Or HaChaim Kadosh says something phenomenal. Ready? V'im tiyeh Hashem tamim. If you're going to be simple with Borei Olam, if you're going to be trusting of Borei Olam, if you're going to place your emunah in Borei Olam, and it's going to be unwavering, and you're going to follow Hashem's charge exactly, then what happens? Lo yachsar lecha davar. You will never be missing anything. You'll never be lacking anything. You'll never be delinquent in anything. You'll never be deficient in anything. If you're totally attached to Borei Olam, and you subscribe to Hashem Yitbarach, and you're simple, Borei Olam, without trying to outsmart God, without trying to outdo Borei Olam, without trying to outperform Borei Olam, but you're simple, you trust, you follow. Borei Olam says, you trust me, you'll never be missing a thing in your life. You know who you learn it from? Abraham Avinu alav shalom. Abraham Avinu had no children, and I'm sure he went to doctors, right? Mazan went to doctors. And you take a look at in the astrology, in the formation of the stars, the astrologers told Avraham Avinu, you're not having children. You don't have the physical makeup, the composition, the wherewithal, the ability to have children. The doctors said it to him. The astrologers told it to him. The necromancers told it to him. But Avraham Avinu didn't listen. He clung to Borei Olam. He trusted Hashem Yitbarach. He didn't care about the futuristic naysayers. Avraham Avinu totally placed his faith in Hashem Yitbarach. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're in this room right now, and if you're watching on Hidabroot, Please put your hand on your head for a second. Everybody, put your hand on your head. I can't believe you people are actually doing this. Put your hand on your head. Are you there? Well, if you're here, that means that all those people were wrong. All the astrologers were wrong. And all of those prophets were wrong. And all the sorcerers were wrong. Because Avraham Avinu did have kids. Because he trusted in Borei Olam. It doesn't make sense. He wasn't supposed to. It's not logical. It wasn't medically sane. It wasn't a medically sound occurrence. But it doesn't have to be. Because when you believe in Borei Olam, you're never missing anything. You know, I got to tell you a great story. When we had my first child, Shia Bari, my son, I took a look at my wife and I said, honey, what are we going to do with this guy? Where are we sending this kid to school? What yeshiva should we go to? We took an accounting of all these yeshivas, and we listed all the pros and all the cons, and we couldn't find that perfect yeshiva. The yeshiva that's going to fulfill all our desires and meet all our standards. We didn't know where to go and what we're going to do, what's going to transpire, what's going to happen. And my wife looked at me and said, what are you worried about? Borei Olam gave us a kid. Borei Olam is going to take care of the kid. She said, let me tell you something. When I was in 8th grade, I had no high school to go to. And sure enough, lo and behold, Borei Olam opened the high school that year for me to go to. When I graduated high school, and now I wanted to go on with my education, there was no seminary for me to go to. And lo and behold, they opened up a seminary. So I know, in the bottom of my heart, I trust Borei Olam with complete faith, with blind faith, with total trust, that they're going to open up a school for my son as well. You watch. I said, honey, are you joking me? You think that the community is going to open up a whole school just for your son? She said, you trust Borei Olam? I said, of course. She said, watch. And my son turned 2.5. And as he turns 2.5, one day we're flipping through the community magazine. And as we're flipping through, we see there's an ad. There's a great girls' school. And the head of that girls' school was someone that I hold in high regard and high esteem. And on the bottom of that ad says, introducing, we're opening a boys' division. And my wife looked at me and she said, I told you so. I said, great, you predicted a good school. Couldn't you predict a good job? All right, that's what you predicted? Because when you have total faith in Borei Olam, when you trust Hashem Yitbarach, when you're unwavering, when you're unnerved, when you're unshaken, you never miss a thing. I'll tell you another story. I was a Rabbi in a yeshiva. And I was a pretty popular Rabbi. You know, I had some students that liked me. And when I came to the administration, we couldn't meet financially. And I needed more money to survive, and they weren't willing to give it to me. And it was a very, very messy divorce, but we decided each one to go his own way. And my wife looks at me and says, I don't understand. What are you going to do? Where are you going to go? I don't understand. How are we going to make a living? We have bills to pay. I said, honey, remember what you told me about our son? They're going to open up a yeshiva? You watch. We trust in Borei Olam, you're never going to lose. You walk simply, don't ask questions. And watch how Borei Olam is going to open up a yeshiva first. And the next year, we opened up a yeshiva. Someone came to me and says, Rabbi, please, do you mind? We have a high school. Can you open up an elementary school? And that's what we did. Because we had unshaken faith in Hashem Yitbarach. And that's what I want to talk about tonight. Tonight I want to talk about when it doesn't make sense. When things are not logical. When things don't seem like they're going to transpire. Do I waver? Do I try to outsmart Borei Olam? Do I try to find other means to fulfill my desires? Or do I follow Borei Olam's terms and conditions, his rules and regulations? Because if you're unshaken, Borei Olam will always be there with you. Listen what the Pelioetz writes. Comes the Pelioetz and he says like this, in the topic of Temimut, V'lo yelech b'derech halitzut v'rama'ut. Be very careful never to go in the ways of chicanery. Anyone know what chicanery means? It means deception. It means lying. It means cheating. When you're going and you're partaking in business, in parnasah, if you have real faith in Borei Olam, there's no need to lie. There's no need to be a cheater. No need to deceive. You can do everything according to the playbook, or everything according to the rule book, and rely on Borei Olam, that you're never going to lose. I remember one time I was going with somebody, and we were walking during Sudash Sishit. We were outside after we ate. We said Birkat Hamazon before I beat. And as I'm walking around, the guy comes and he shows off to me. He says, Rabbi, you'll never guess what I do for a living. I said, what do you do for a living? He says, I'm a jeweler. I said, Hazar Baruch, I'm a rabbi. Nice to meet you. Right? He says, wait. But listen to what I do. He says, I take 18-karat gold necklaces and I sell them under the label of 24 karat. I said, wow, Hazak Baruch, you're a big Rasha. Is that great? He said, what do you mean? I said, I don't say, don't you believe in Borei Olam? Who's giving you a paycheck? Who's writing your paycheck? Shem Yitbarach. And therefore, Borei Olam says, listen, follow my directions. Follow my instructions. And watch how good your life could be. But many times we try to outsmart Borei Olam. We think we know better. We think we could outperform Borei Olam. We think we could outsmart Borei Olam. We think that we have a better solution to the problems that we face. But we don't. We don't have better solutions. If we follow Borei Olam's charge, and we follow it unwavering. Right? Chesed Sovivenu. If we're unwavering, then Chesed is Sovivenu. Exactly. Then Borei Olam is always with us. In fact, this is even if it doesn't make sense. Even if it's totally illogical, I'll prove it to you. It says Rabbeinu Bachya. Listen to this great Rabbeinu Bachya. Rabbeinu Bachya comes in and he says like this. V'yichlol tamim tiyeh im Hashem Elokecha. Im ata tamim tiyeh im Hashem Elokecha. If a person is simple, if you're trusting, if you're whole with Borei Olam, then you'll be with Borei Olam. Even if it doesn't make sense. Where do you learn it from? You learn it from Moshe Rabbeinu. What does it say by Moshe Rabbeinu? What is the pasuk? Pasuk writes, Vayisham im Adonai. Moshe Rabbeinu was there with Borei Olam. Where was he? Har Sinai. How long was Moshe Rabbeinu at Har Sinai? 40 days and 40 nights. Lechem lo achal, umayim lo shata. Ladies and gentlemen, how long, take a survey, does it take you, when you're fasting, to start getting hungry? Anybody? Well, some people it takes, let's say, 10 hours. Then they start feeling the hunger pangs, the hunger pains, and they start to, they get feeling bad and sick. You know how long it takes me? 5 minutes. Okay? I finished my meal, borei nefashot, Birkat Hamazon, wonderful. 5 minutes later, honey, I'm hungry. So what's wrong with you? I don't understand. No, really, Joanne, I can't. Honey, please, what am I supposed to do? And then I get a headache. Coffee headache. Honey, my head is starting to hurt. Honey, you just drank coffee. I don't know what to tell you. And I can't handle it. I don't know what to tolerate. I'm going to go another couple of hours like this. Shema Yisrael. Moshe Rabbeinu was up in Shamayim for 40 days and 40 nights. Lechem lo achal, mayim lo shata. He didn't eat anything. He drank nothing. And he didn't feel those hunger pains. Because he was tamim with Borei Olam. He was wholesome with God. He was unwavering. And even if it didn't make sense, it doesn't have to make sense. Because when you're whole with Borei Olam takes care of you. 1 second. The Order L'Tzion, Rabbi Chacham ben Tzion Abashul says a wonderful thing. He says, there was once a rabbi, Rabbi Avraham Fatal. Anybody ever hear of the rabbi, Rabbi Avraham Fatal? Rabbi Avraham Fatal was the father-in-law of Chacham Ovadia. Zecher Tzadik V'Kadosh Livracha. The father-in-law of Chacham Ovadia. And Rabbi Avraham Fatal, as a child, grew deathly ill. He was very, very sick. His family was very, very poor. So poor they couldn't afford to have a doctor's visit. And sure enough, the neighbor was a very affluent family. And they had a lot of money. So the doctor came to go visit that family, that child, the affluent child. And as a chesed, he went to go visit Rabbi Avraham Fatal. He comes to the parents and says, listen, I got to tell you, the chances are very, very grim. It doesn't look like your son's going to make it. He says, because in order for your child to feel better, he has to be in a spacious place. Your house is very small. There's no way that these small quarters are going to enable your son to remedy himself. He says, but your neighbor who has a wonderful house, such a spacious quarter, says, your neighbor's probably going to make it. And the rabbi says, and guess what happened? Rabbi Avram Fatal, it didn't make sense. But he survived. And the neighbor's son, lo aleinu, the neighbor's son passed away. Because it doesn't have to make sense. If I'm Tamim, if I say, I don't need you, I don't need the doctor to diagnose. But Olam is here. Rofecho basar umafli la'asot. It doesn't have to be logical. If I'm unwavering with Borei Olam says, I'll heal all your ailments. There's another story. Chacham Atiyah tells a story about a man named Signor de Picciotto. Anybody here a Picciotto or related to a Picciotto? No? So I can make up the story. Good. One second. So listen very carefully. Signor de Picciotto was a manager of a bank in Syria. Now, if you hold such a position, that's a position of great esteem, great prestige. And he met many, many people. One time there's a very affluent, rich person who comes to the bank. And Signor de Picciotto comes, he shakes his hand, says, please, tfaddal, come here, can I make you coffee? He says, how can I help you? So the rich man says, listen, you know me. He says, yes, I do. He says, you know my reputation. He says, of course I do. He says, you know I'm a man of integrity. He says, 100%. He says, I need a loan. He says, you need a loan? Of course we'll give you a loan. He takes out a bank application and he starts filling it out for this rich guy. And as he's about to complete the application, he turns to the guy and says, okay, now just tell me, who's your guarantor? The rich man takes a look at the Signor de Picciotto and says, I need a guarantor? I need a guarantor? You just said you know me. And he said, you know that my name precedes me. He said, you know I have a great reputation of a man of integrity. You need a guarantor? How dare you? You're offending me. Signor de Picciotto says, wait. It's not personal. I'm an employee of the bank. And the bank mandates that anybody who gets a loan needs a guarantor. Who's your guarantor? The guy looks at Signor de Picciotto, all angry, agitated. He says, you know what? God is my guarantor. Signor de Picciotto says, if that's your guarantor, no problem. And he signs the loan and he approves the loan. He takes the money and he places it into a red sack. And he closes it up and he gives it to the rich man. The rich man now elated and he's so happy that he was able to outsmart the bank. He goes into a field. And he goes into a field over there and there's a carob tree. Anyone here know what a carob tree is? Okay, good. And he takes the sack and he hangs it in the carob tree because he wants to take a nap in the carob tree. He takes a nap. And he wakes up a couple hours later and takes a look. Mafi carob, mafi tree, mafi she. Nothing there. He says, Shema Yisrael, what happened to the tree? He's looking around, astounded, shocked. Where's the tree? And as he looks, he sees there's a bunch of workers chopping down all the carob trees with the carobs, packing up all the carobs to bring them to the market. He says, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? So he tries running after him to no avail. He wasn't able to get the money. He says, one day, Signor de Picciotto's wife is walking by. And she goes into a market. And she says, you know what? I want to pick up some carobs. And as she's going and taking a look at the carobs, she grabs a bunch and puts it into a bag and brings it home. And as she's unloading the carobs, she sees a red pouch. She says, Shema Yisrael, what's this red pouch? What's going on over here? She shows it to her husband. Husband says, don't worry, I got this. He takes it and he puts it into a safe. And then Mr. Richman comes. He says, you ready to pay back your loan? He says, no, I don't have the money. He says, let me ask you a question. Did you lose the money? She says, yeah, how did you know? He says, were you willing, were you going to pay back the bank? Tell the truth. He says, really, no. He says, but how did you know that I lost the money? He goes into the safe, he opens the safe, he takes out the sack of money. And he says, because your guarantor returned the money. In life, who's our guarantor? Who takes care of us? Who worries about us? Do we follow the rules and the terms and the conditions of Borei Olam? Because if you do, then you're Tamim, without asking questions. And then Borei Olam is your guarantor. You know, I have a friend. And my friend has a few medical conditions, well, they know. And he had a few familial conditions. And I remember my friend a couple of years ago came up to me and says, Rabbi, this is the year. This is the year for what? He said, this year I'm getting married. do you have a segula for me to get married? You have anything that you can do to get married? I said, listen, I don't know. I'm not a mikubal. I don't know all the segulot. But I will tell you one thing. In my shul, we have a history. And that is that anybody who buys Khatan Me'ona in my shul, that year he gets married. And it's amazing, astounding, how every year Khatan Me'ona always gets married. He says, Rabbi, I'm buying Khatan Me'ona. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, Shema Yisrael, what happens if the guy doesn't get married? He has so many issues that he faces, so many problems that he has. What happens if he's not going to? I said, listen, are you sure you can afford Khatan Me'ona? He said, I'll buy it at any price. I know that if I buy the Khatan Me'ona, Hashem is going to get me married. And I'm thinking to myself, Shema Yisrael, first of all, he's going to ruin my streak, right? Every year, the guy gets married. This like that. I'm going to lose my sales pitch. That's the way I sell it. Whoever wants to get married, buy Khatan Me'ona. Hold on a second. And Yom Kippur, I get up. And I say, Khatan Me'ona. And he buys it. And now I'm shivering. I turn to Borei Olam and say, Borei Olam, he's your son. He's trusting you. Please get him married. Ladies and gentlemen, a few months later, my friend got engaged. Today, he's the father of a baby boy. He still has those medical issues. And those familial issues did not change. But he's happily married because he was a tamim with Borei Olam. He realized all the problems that he had, all the issues that he faced, all the problems that were ensuing. He said, Borei Olam, you're going to get me married. Hashem said, you're tamim with me, you're never going to be missing anything. That's what tamimut is all about. It's wonderful. And that's what I'm talking about tonight. You know, there's a Gemara. Gemara Masechet Berachot. And I want you to hear this Gemara. Wonderful. Says the Gemara like this. Ready? The two Pesukim. The first Pasuk comes and says, I'm going to take my greenery. I'm going to take my grain back. I'm going to take my produce back. I'm going to take my stock back. And there's another pasuk that says, you're going to collect the greenery. Which one is it? Is God going to take back his grain, his wealth, his prosperity, his affluence? Or are we going to collect it? Says the Gemara la kashya. Kan bizman she'osin etzlo shel makom. Kan bizman she'en osin etzlo shel makom. One's talking about when we do what Borei Olam wants. If we do what Borei Olam wants, we'll always be able to collect the produce that we need. But if we don't do what Borei Olam wants, then Borei Olam starts collecting back his produce. Which means it doesn't depend on the sun, it doesn't depend on the weather, it doesn't depend on the climate, on our ability to plant, to feed, to reap, to weed the crops. It all depends on Borei Olam and what Borei Olam has in store for us. And the more we believe in Borei Olam, the more we're simple with Borei Olam, the more we are sturdy with Borei Olam, the more we're fastened with Borei Olam. The more Borei Olam says you're tamim, then you're in my club. You know, there's a pasuk. How does it really work? Why does it work that the more tamim I am, the more Borei Olam reciprocates? The more Borei Olam is with me, the more I don't have to worry that I'm going to lose anything. Why does it work that way? So I want to read to you a pasuk in Parshat Ekev. Because the pasuk in Parshat Ekev is such a beautiful pasuk. Listen very carefully. Everybody ready? It says the pasuk like this. It's going to be if you listen with all these ordinances, if you follow my commands, if you commit and fulfill my mitzvot, listen to the following words. V'shamar Adonai Elohecha. Borei Olam is going to preserve for you et berit ve'et chesed, the covenant, the deal. God's going to keep the deal and the kindness. What do you mean the deal and the kindness? What's the deal and what's the kindness? What's the difference between the deal and God's going to give you the deal and the kindness? 1 second. What's the deal? What's the kindness? What are we talking about over here? And it's very possible that Borei Olam made a deal with us. And that is that Borei Olam says, listen, you do mitzvah, you get reward. That's the deal. The more mitzvot you do, the more reward you reap. That's the deal. But the Gemara writes, Sachar b'hai al maleka. There's no reward in this world. All the mitzvot that you perform, all the great deeds that you commit, you don't get paid nothing in this world. So if that's the case, what do I get in this world? What am I acquiring in this world? That's the chesed part. Everything that we get in this world is total chesed. You deserve nothing. Because everything that you deserve, you're getting in the next world. You're not getting in this world. The brit is in olam haba. The chesed is in olam hazeh. God gives you a chesed. And if that's the case, it's very simple. If I want the chesed from Borei Olam, don't you think I should just do what Borei Olam tells me? Without worrying, without wavering, without trying to outsmart God or outdo Borei Olam or think I know better than Hashem Yitbarach? Borei Olam is the one doing the kindness. He's the one who's benevolent. He's the one who's generous, charitable. If that's the case, that's what I have to trust. That's what I have to appease. That's what I have to make happy. You know, there is I don't know how many people know this. There's something called the Police Benevolence Association. Anybody know what that is? Otherwise known as the PBA. Okay? Police Benevolence Association. You give a little donation, and then they give you a card. The Police Benevolence Association. They give you a card. And every time you get pulled over, right? Doesn't matter what you're doing. The guy could be on the cell phone, speeding, eating a sandwich in the other with other hand. He's driving with his knees, goes through a red light, pulls you over. License and registration, please. Happens to me once a week. All right? What happens? You take out your license. You take out the registration. You take out the PBA card. And you place it under the license. Don't put it on top, because if they see it, they won't touch it. Once they touch it, that's it. Put it under so he doesn't see it. He grabs it. And then he sees the PBA card. Regardless of what you did, he's kind to you and says, okay, just don't do it again. And he lets you go. Unbelievable. So I'm not talking tonight about the PBA. But ladies and gentlemen, I think that today we should start joining the HBA. Hashem's Benevolence Association. God's being kind to you. How do you do such things? Very simple. You can subscribe to Borei Olam. You say, Borei Olam, whatever instructions you have to be part of this fraternity, to be part of this club, to be part of this group, I'm in. Sign me up. And if you do that, it doesn't make sense. Just like it doesn't make sense, this guy gets off. It doesn't have to make sense. Borei Olam is the one who's doing the kindness. And he'll do it to you regardless of the circumstances. That's what it means to be a tamim. Because in our life, even though it doesn't make sense, if we follow God's charge and we don't ask questions, and then Borei Olam says, you're part of my benevolence association. You know, 2 weeks ago, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Because we always do that. Many times we really think we know better than Borei Olam. And we try to outsmart God. So I'll tell you a great story that happened. 3 weeks ago, I got a text from one of the ladies that comes to my class. And she says, Rabbi, I don't know what to do. I said, what's the matter? She says, you know, there was a guy who was offered to me, and I don't think it's a match. I took a look at all his credentials. I took a look, and we did some research on his personality, on who he is. And I just don't want to go out with him. I don't think he's compatible with me. I said, so Chazak Baruch, don't go out with him. She said, but there's a problem. I said, really, there's a problem? What's the problem? What could the problem be? He said, let me tell you. My uncle called me up and my uncle told me the following words. Listen to what my uncle said. My uncle said, I took your name and this boy's name and I brought it to Rav Chaim Kanievsky. Rav Chaim Kanievsky checked the names. And he said that the name is a match. What do I do? So I looked at her and I didn't look at her. I was on the phone. And I said, your uncle's a liar. She said, Rabbi, how did you know that? My uncle's, how do you know he's lying? I said, your uncle must be lying, and I'll tell you why. Listen to this great story. So there was a couple that went out, and after they went out, right, he charmed her, and she was charmed, and he liked her, right? He was writing her poems, and he bought her flowers, and he sung songs, or whatever it is. They finally got, they decided to get engaged. And before that, they went for a blessing by a certain Mekubal. And they go into the Mekubal's office, and the Mekubal says, okay, just give me your names. So the couple gives the names. And the Mekubal takes a look and he observes. And he concludes, says, listen, these names don't match. I think you should just break it up. And now the guy he looks at the girl and he says, I guess this is it. What do you mean this is it? No, of course not. This is not it. No way this is it. We got to go to a gadol. We got to go ask somebody. Who do you go to? So they did some interrogating, some investigating. And they found out there was a great gadol in Bnei Brak. His name was a stipler. And they took these names. And they went to the stipler. And the way it works with the stipler is, you write the problem, whatever issue, question you have, and they showed it to the rabbi. So they wrote down, Mikubal said these names don't match. Couple wants to break up. What do? And they showed it to the stipler. And the stipler takes a look at it. And he starts screaming, this is not the Jewish way. We don't do such things. We don't check names. That's not how we ascertain whether it's a compatible couple or not. It's not the Jewish way. It's not Derech HaTorah. And he was not being appeased. He was not appeased. And they tried to calm him down. And he wasn't coming down. So they ushered right away the Hatan and the Kal. They ushered him out until half an hour passed by. And finally, he calmed down. They brought back the couple, and the stipler said, go get married. Go get married. And you're going to live together. And that's what happened. Because we don't go check names. So I took a look at I texted the girl. I said, and that's how I know that Rav Chaim didn't check those names. Because Rav Chaim is the stipler's son. And if his father didn't check names, he wasn't going to go against his father. Don't go out with this boy. When we look for people, there was once a girl who came to me and said, Rabbi, there's a guy I'm going out with. I can't stand him. We're about to get engaged. I said, I'm sorry, I've heard many things. Could you say that again? She said, yep, we're going out already for a couple of months. I don't like him, but we're about to get engaged. I said, I sure hope that's not what happened with my wife, right? I don't understand. I said, why are you about to get engaged with a guy you don't like? She said, because I'm really scared that he's my nasib. I said, nasib? I said, you can't stand the guy. What kind of nasib is that? I said, but what if that's what if I lose my nasib? What if I lose my bashert? What if I lose that person, that voice? I said, let me explain to you something. I said, that voice, leave that for Borei Olam. You have to ascertain, determine, work out whether or not that person is compatible for you. Do you like him? Is he a nice person? Is he someone you want to give to for the rest of your life? Is he someone's face that you want to see every morning? If so, marry him. If not, don't worry about the nasib. I'm telling you, he ain't your nasib. And she broke up. But look at that. We try to outsmart Borei Olam. Borei Olam says there's a system. What to look for when you want to get married. Don't try to outsmart me. Don't try to outdo me. Be tamim. Be simple. Ladies and gentlemen, until now, we might have said things that you do know. But this is my favorite part of this class. Rav Shalom Shvadron, Zecher Tzadik V'Kadosh Yivracha, once brought out an unbelievable point. He made a very poignant point. Anybody here, I'm sure everybody here, at one point in their life, was on an airplane, right? Or almost everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, when you go on that airplane, anybody ever interview the pilot? So, sir, which aviation school did you go to? Did you pass the first time you took your final? Let me ask, did you ever get a ticket in the air? Ever get into an accident? Anybody? Anybody ever interview the pilot? You're putting your life in the back seat. Why don't you ask anybody any questions from that pilot? Why don't you interrogate him? Where's your investigation? Forget the airplane. We go into Ubers. And I want to tell you, Ubers are wonderful people. There's some very, very nice community members that drive Ubers. But sometimes you walk into an Uber, not only do you not know the guy, you don't want to know the guy. Anybody ever interviewed the Uber driver? Sir, how many times did you take your driver's test? You have a couple of points? Did you ever get caught speeding? Ever go on your cell phone? Did you ever drink while you were driving? Anybody? Why not? We trust the Uber driver. Our life is in the back seat. He could drive as he wants without us doing background checks. And the train operator? Anybody here ever interview? Anyone here ever know where that train operator is? I have no idea where he is. Sometimes I get off the train, I just want to say Chazak Baruch to the guy. I have no idea where he is. I go to the person at the window. I say, can you please tell me who the train operator is? Right? Could you do me a favor? If you see him, can you tell him Chazak Baruch for me? Anybody ever interviewed the train operator? A bus driver? You're putting your life into these people's hands. And yet we trust them so much, we don't ask them any questions. And yet when it comes to Borei Olam, who's not driving a bus or a plane or an Uber, he's not driving a car. He's driving the universe. He created the universe. He's managing the universe. He's multi-managing the universe in a very micro fashion, intimately with every person. Why? When it comes to Borei Olam, we start asking questions. It doesn't make sense. Where is our temimut? Where's our ability to just be simple, Borei Olam? Where's our ability to just trust Borei Olam? To place our faith in the only one who gives us our kindnesses in this world. Why do we trust everybody else but the one that makes the most sense? You know, it comes to all things. Regarding Borei Olam, we start asking questions. Borei Olam, God says, Aser ta'aser. Gemara Masechet writes, Aser b'shvil shite ta'aser. Give ma'aser to Rabbi Zeytouneh, and you'll become rich. Wait a second. Do I really have to give 10%? What about tuition? Can I start deducting from the tuition? Does tuition count as ma'aser? What happens if it's not totally ma'aser? What if it's 9.8% ma'aser? Does that work also? Can I borrow against my ma'aser? Why are you starting to ask questions? Borei Olam says, give it, and the affluence will come. It will follow. Why do we start asking questions? Borei Olam says, listen, Atznei lechet im Hashem Elokecha. Walk humbly, walk privately, walk modestly with Borei Olam, your Creator. And yet I know so many people who force their daughters to dress Shema Yisrael in a very, very non-modest way, because they believe that's going to get them married quicker. I don't understand. Borei Olam writes the rule book. God gets you married. Why do you think you can outsmart Borei Olam? Why do you think you can outdo Borei Olam? Where's your temimut? Where's your simplicity? Where's your faith? Where's your trust? That is what we have to do. That's what we have to hold on to. That's where we have to be girded. And by the way, not only when it's easy. I want you to hear the pasuk in Parshat Lech Lecha, because it's an unbelievable pasuk. Listen very carefully. Pasuk in Lech Lecha comes and writes the following. Ready? Borei Olam comes to Avraham Avinu. Avraham Avinu was barren. He had no kids for all those years. And Borei Olam turns to Avraham Avinu and says, ready? Ani El Shaddai, hithalech lefanai v'yeh tamim. I am Borei Olam. I want you to walk in front of me and be a tamim. Be steadfast. Be unshaken. Trust me. Don't ask questions. What do you mean hithalech lefanai? You know, Shtia B'Liyah, my daughter, my little daughter, for many years, just started walking a couple of months ago. And how do you get someone to start walking? So first you take your two fingers, right? And you hold on to your two fingers and you walk back as she's walking frontwards, right? She walks towards you and you hold the two fingers. And then what happens? It becomes one hand. And again, you walk with them while they're holding your hand. But now, Baruch Hashem, the other day we're walking in New Jersey. And as we're walking, my wife was walking me to shul with my daughter. And we're holding her hand. And what does she do? She lets go of my hand and she starts running. My wife says, go get her. I said, you go get her, right? In the meantime, she's running. But how was she able to run with such confidence? You know how? She knew we were right behind her. She knew we were watching her. She knew we were protecting her. Even though she didn't see us. But she knew we were right behind. Borei Olam tells Avraham Avinu, it's very easy to be tamim when you see me, when I'm in front of you, when I'm holding your hand. But you know when you got to be tamim? When you're in front of me. When I'm behind you. When you don't see me. When it's not so obvious. when the shidduchim are not working out, or the child's not working out, and the job interviews are not working out, and the raises are not coming in, and it's not easy to pay all those bills and pay for my mortgage or buy a house. That's when you have to be a tamim. When you're walking in front of God, not when you're walking behind Him. That's what it means to be tamim. When you're struggling in life, understanding the Borei Olam is watching you. He's behind you. And if you follow His rules, follow His terms and conditions, follow His guides, you'll never be delinquent, deficient in anything in life. And Hidah writes a beautiful thing. Says the Hidah, we say it every Shabbat. V'Adonai Elohim Emet. We call Borei Olam the master of the universe, Emet. What is Emet? So listen what the Hidah writes. Hidah writes, if you take a look at the word Emet, it starts with the first letter of the alphabet, Aleph. It ends with the last letter of the alphabet, Taf. And the Mem is right in the middle. Haya, God was, He was the first. He's now, He's ever present. V'yeh. He's going to be the last being in the world also. What Olam was, is, and will be. He says, we know that a tzaddik and a rasha are categorized by the same two letters. Tzaddik is called ishtam, and the rasha is called mit. Ishaim afilu b'chayehem kiruim metim. Even when they're living, they're called dead. He said, but those are the same letters. Tam is taf mem. Met is mem taf. What's the difference? And says the Hidah, it depends. What is your priority in life? Atam, someone who's simple, Borei Olam. He says, I don't care about Olam Hazeh. God, that's chesed. You're going to take care of me. I know that. That's a brit for the chesed. I'm worried about the taf first. The taf, the future, Olam Haba. That's what I'm worried about. And the mem, you'll take care of it, Borei Olam. That's what a tam is. He puts the taf first. But a met, and the rasha, he focuses on this world, totally ignoring the taf. He puts the mem first. But in life, we have to be tamim. Tamim tiyeh im Hashem Elokecha. Even when we don't know that Borei Olam is there. 1 second. And it's very, very possible that that's the mode of operation in Elul. That's the goal of Elul. That's what I got to do in Elul. That's my mission in Elul. The mission in Elul is what? To be a tamim. And I'll prove it to you. If a person acquires temimut, that this year, I'm not going to outsmart you. I'm going to follow all your rules. I'm going to make sure that I don't try to outdo you, or circumvent you, or avoid you, or ignore you. I'm subscribing, I'm signing up for the HBA, Hashem's Benevolence Association. And I know you're going to be with me every step of the way. And I'll prove to you that that's what Elul is all about. Everybody who ever came to my class, especially on Shabbat, knows that I like to utilize a certain methodology called Mispar Katan. I think I used it last week. Mispar Katan means that there's no zeros. Taf is 400, Mispar Katan 4, no zeros. 20,000 is 2, no zeros. Well, let's take the word Elul. And let's do the Mispar Katan Elul, shall we? Aleph is 1, Lamed is 3, that's 4. Vav is 6, that's 10. Lamed is 3, that's 13. Elul Mispar Katan 13. Ladies and gentlemen, let's try it with the word Tamim. Being simple, trusting Borei Olam. Taf is 4. Mem is 4, that's 8. Yud is 1, that's 9. And Mem is 4. 9 and 4 is 13. The same Mispar Katan is Elul. Because the mode of operation, the goal, the mission this month is to become a Tamim. To conscribe, to sign up for Borei Olam's Benevolence Association, for his club, for his group, to say, I'm not going to try to avoid you this year and do it my way. I'm going to sign up for your club, and I know that you're going to take care of me, even if it makes no sense. How do we start this class, ladies and gentlemen? We said, Ani ledodi v'dodi li. Ani ledodi v'dodi li. What do we say, ladies and gentlemen? Haro'eh b'shoshanim. We said that every rose, how many petals does it have? 13 petals. What did we just say? The 13 that we give to God. We said we have to give 13 to God, and God gives 13 back to us, and then it's 26. It's Rahamim. We learned just now that Tamim equals 13. You want to know what the rose is that we give to Borei Olam? In order for him to reciprocate and give us Rahamim, to give us Yud Kei Vav Ket, to give us a year full of compassion, of mercy, of wonderful things, of blessings. What is that 13, that rose that we give him? It's our being Tamim. It's our being simple. Stop asking questions. Stop doubting the driver of the universe. Stop asking superfluous, conspiracy theories. And he's the director of the world. Start trusting Hashem Barach, that the desired results are going to come. That's the rose that you give to Hashem. V'ani l'dodi, God gives you back that rose. And then you'll have a real Shana Tova Mutuka. So ladies and gentlemen, we do this every time. Last night, we did it. We'll do it again. We give homework. Okay? And that is, everyone should go home tonight. We're already in the fourth day of Elul. So that means we're already 4 days behind. And I don't want you to take, a 24-hour accounting of your Temimut. Take a 4-hour accounting of your Temimut. The first 4 hours of your regimen every day. How much more of a Tamim can we become? I'll give you an example. Guy goes to sleep. Gentlemen. And sure enough, you set your alarm tonight. Tomorrow I want to wake up at 5:30 because I want to make selichot. And you set it up at 5:30. And at 5:30, your alarm rings. Do I get up right away? Well, it depends. Do I trust that my selichot is going to be effective, that Borei Olam wants me to say selichot? Or do I start asking questions? You know what? Maybe selichot to me, maybe I'll start tomorrow. Well, then do you trust Borei Olam? Borei Olam saying, I'm waiting to forgive you. I'm waiting for you to come to me. I'm waiting for you to sign up. I'm waiting for you to subscribe. I'm waiting for you to renew your subscription. I'm waiting to give you good things. I'm waiting to give you a good life. I'm waiting to give you shalom bayit. Where it doesn't make sense. Are you going to get up at 5:30 in the morning when that alarm rings? Are you going to say berachot on those foods? Are you going to remember to say beracha harona? 4 hours. Take the first 4 hours of your day and jot down. Text me. Rabbi, I found 4 things that I can improve this Elul in the first 4 hours of your day. And by doing that, you're signing up. What does benevolence mean? Hashem's Benevolence Association. Benevolence means kindness. We're signing up for Hashem's HBA. And by doing that, you'll never miss, you'll never lose, you'll never have any delinquencies, deficiencies in your entire life. Let's get started tonight. And B'ezrat Hashem, by doing so, we will in fact and indeed have a Shana Tova u'metuka. Baruch Adonai l'olam. Amen ve'amen. Rabbi Hananya. Ben HaKashya, Amen. Atzak, Baruch Lo Yisrael B'chachmarim. Baruch Shema,